Hello everybody, it's Sylvie. Welcome back. I hope you're doing good. So today's video is just a bit of a fun one. So I thought I would do a video showcasing my favourite tarot backs and my favourite tarot borders. I know that people have done, I think there's tags for both of these things that I've seen floating around, and if I can find them then I will link and tag appropriately. But yeah, I just thought I would just want to show off some pretty decks. That's basically all there is to it. Hopefully this will be a bit of a quicker video as well, because I know that they've been running pretty long lately. And I'm just going to get straight into it. So first of all, I have a dishonourable mention, because I just can't get over how uninspired the backs of this deck are. So this is the Tarot Collectibles Groovy Waite Sparkles edition. And these are the backs. These are the backs. I've edged it badly in pink. I have never considered rebacking a deck, and it would make the deck so chunky that I don't want to do it. But yeah. But Tarot Collectibles have redeemed themselves, because I have here, this is, I think I'm going to start with borders because I'm starting with this deck. So this is the Deadweight Apocalyptic Survivor. I think they've done a couple editions. And the borders on this deck are just so fun. Like, this deck is styled to look like it's been through an apocalypse. It's all sort of ripped and torn and bloody. And like the borders on this deck, it's kind of true of the whole artwork, but I really like the borders. Like, they're different on different cards and they look like they've been burnt and torn up and like trampled through the mud. And they're all like bloody fingerprints. Like, I just think it's so cool. And they're not different on every single card. They might be different on every single card. I'm not sure. But like, it's just such a fun feature of the artwork. Like here, like the strength has been all torn to shreds. Like, it's just so cool. And like here, it's like eating away at the title. So yeah, that's my first installment of favorite borders, because I think it's so clever. It really goes with the theme of the deck. I think it really adds something to the artwork. Okay, my next deck with my favorite borders, this is the Midnight Magic Mushroom deck. The backs are cute too, not gonna lie. But what I really like is the borders in the minor cards. So we've got these blue flowers for the cups. We've got these red flowers for the wands. The majors do not have borders, which is partly why I like this. We've got these yellowy flowers for the pentacles, because it's nice to see the minor cards getting a bit of special treatment. And then we've got, it looks like lavender maybe, and this, which I feel like is a bird of paradise plant, or did I completely make that up? Yeah, it's nice to see the minor cards getting a bit of like special treatment, and I like that they're different for each suit. I really enjoy when decks differentiate the suits in like a nice visual way, but also it's not too, like, it's not overwhelming. It's not the first thing you notice about the card, but it's a nice extra detail. So yeah, that is the Midnight Magic. Ooh, isn't that just a beautiful Knight of Pentacles right there? I need to be remembering to drink my coffee before it goes cold, not least because I'm still getting over this weird cold thing I had. I also have here the Fyodor Pavlov Tarot, which is just beautifully presented throughout. I'm not gonna lie, the backs are also pretty stunning. But what I like about the borders with this one is it's better than a borderless deck, and generally a borderless deck is usually my preference, just so I can see more of the artwork. But what I love about this is we have this border, but then the artwork sort of pops through the borders in certain places. And that, I think, just really adds to, it's very thoughtful. It looks, and it also adds a focus on the artwork, because the borders are there, but they're very intentionally broken. And so like here, it's almost as though the horses are really sort of coming out of the image, which is a nice addition to the chariot. Here you've got the sword and the Page of Swords sort of poking through, and the flame from the Ace of Wands. Like, it's really thoughtfully done. it adds a little bit of like, it doesn't necessarily draw your eye to these details that have popped out of the borders, but if you look for them and sort of, it adds a little bit more focus if you choose to focus on it, which is nice. Again, it's not distracting borders, they're not overwhelming or overpowering by any means, but they do add to the artwork and the experience of reading the deck. And I think that's really clever and really special. This is another deck with sort of subtle borders. This is the Darkwood Tarot. It's one of the Llewellyn big box decks, which I still haven't edged, surprisingly. But yeah, these are really subtle borders that, again, they don't distract, they don't overwhelm. I'm not sure they especially add to the artwork, but I just really like them. So you've got, technically they're quite wide borders, but all you've got is you've got this frame, and then the artwork continues outside. It's just a little bit sort of darker and desaturated. So you still kind of have the effect of a borderless card while also have the border framing the sort of central part of the image. And Allison and Abigail Larson's beautiful artwork. So yeah, I just think it's just really effective. It's really nice. Again, they're not distracting. They don't get in the way. Really beautiful. Yeah. I especially like this, the way that we've got this arch here in the Hermit. I think that's just very effective. Anyway, okay, I think this is my final borders pick. So this is the Eldritch Overload Tarot. I did an unboxing of this if you want to see a more in-depth flip through. But this is a very beautiful sparkly deck. Oh, it goes very nicely with my nails, doesn't it? But yeah, we've got these holographic borders that sort of overlay the image. It is very difficult to pick up on camera, and to be honest, it's sometimes difficult to pick up in the light as well. But we have got the sort of suit in the border. It's also got this it just really adds to the aesthetics. It looks a bit like sort of circuitry, and the Eldritch Overload is this like fantasy cyberpunk. I assume also that the characters here are meaningful, but I can't read them. And then we've got the numerology of the major arcana. So we've got 3 here for the Empress. And they're just glitzy and fun. And again, they do like add to the reading. Like, we've also got the titles down the bottom, but they do add to the reading. They're not just meaningless symbols. They do add to the symbology of the card. They're sparkly, and they're really, really well stylized and really fit with the theme of the deck. Also, like, the backs also are some of my favorite backs, because again, they're just super sparkly and holographic. And then the underlying artwork underneath the holographic is really cool. I just could stare at these cards for hours, and this is one of my favorite decks to like flip through just to look at some cool artwork, I'm not gonna lie. Right, so we're moving on to my favorite tarot backs, and first up we have my beloved Squid Cake Marseille, which is it's just cute. It's just, this whole deck is cute and is one of my favorite decks, but I just think these backs are so pretty. They're pretty, they're cute, they're pink, but also, like, we've got the strawberries, we've got the candy corn, like, they really are representative of the, like, whimsy of the deck, and I just think they're really nicely done. They go really well with the artwork. It always baffles me when you find a deck where the art on the backs is completely different stylistically to the art on the fronts of the cards. It makes very little sense. This is a new one to me. I have an unboxing of this that I think is going to come later than this video, but this is the Crystal Visions Tarot, and these are some of my favorite backs because they're just so pretty. I think the colors, I think there's like dreamy watercolor aesthetic. We have cups and pentacles. I'm not actually sure if we have wands and swords anywhere. I don't think I'm seeing them, but and it goes really well with the artwork. This is all greens, but yeah, it fits extremely well. I think they're very pretty. That's basically all I have to say. This is all this video is. It's like, oh hey, here are some pretty things that I like. I've definitely mentioned these backs before. This is the Queer Tarot. And whenever I think whenever I show this deck, I show the gorgeous backs. I just love the texture of the colours and the way that everything's kind of, it's like a little bit blotchy, it's a little bit faded. Again, it really matches the aesthetic of the art on the images. But first of all, I love the bright colours. I love the pink background. I love the print is just really fun. It's a little bit trippy, especially if you like fan them out. But the texture of the way the colours are like faded and blotchy, it just feels like summer to me. That was it. I spoke about this in my summer decks video, most recently anyway. And the way the colours are kind of sun faded and sun bleached, it's just delicious and I adore it. This I meant to speak about in my borders, but it was also some of my favourite tarot backs. But I can't read with this deck because I lost the Two of Pentacles and have absolutely no idea where it is. I think it was the Two of Pentacles. Anyway, so these are the backs. If you know me, if you've spent more than 5 minutes on this channel, you know I love butterflies. And these are just stunning. And then the borders on the quartz in particular. Where are they? So the borders on, no I didn't, who knows. The borders on the quartz are really cool. So the quartz are this medieval troupe in this deck. And they're all in this frame, and then like here we've got a pirate, the corsair for the Knight of Spirals. Spirals is pentacles in this deck, and we've got like a pirate ship, we've got some gold. The healer for the Page of Mirrors, which is the cup suit. We've got this little like mermaid in the corner. We've got this dude, got a bee. The Muse here for the Queen of Spirals, Queen of Pentacles. Like they're individual to each of the court cards. This one is more like an extension of the image behind, which honestly for like the watcher I feel like is quite cool. But this is like daytime and then this is nighttime, and they're just gorgeous. They're so well thought out. I like that they're different for each of the court cards. They add some like meaningful details to the theming because this is quite this deviates from the Rider Waite Smith. It's got its kind of own system, and the courts especially are a bit, they're unusual. They're doing their own thing. That makes them a bit harder to read. And so I like having the extra details in some of the borders. I feel like it helps personalize them and helps characterize the court cards a bit. And hey, we've got a little butterfly. So that is the Chrysalis Tarot, which is both borders and backs, but I currently can't read with because I'm missing a card. And these are truly some of my favourite backs of all time. So this is the Mystic Martian Oracle, which also is in my summer decks. And just look at these backs. It's just, these also have some of my favourite edges with this bright green. But I just think this is so cool. Like it's so weird. It's so sci-fi, which this deck is. And like, I just love it. I think it's really weird. And I love that. It's not reversible, but why would you reverse an Oracle deck? In my opinion. Why would you reverse this Oracle deck anyway? But yeah, it doesn't even super go with the artwork necessarily. I just think they're gorgeous. And now I've got myself all mixed up. So that is the Mystic Martian Oracle. And then finally, some of my favourite backs of all time. This is the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot by Travis McHenry, and this is the Rockpool one. I think there's a couple of Bosch Tarots, and I think this was a indie deck before it was mass market. This is another super weird deck. Beautiful blue edging, even though this video is not about edges. But this is based on Bosch's Garden of Earthly Delights. And like, I don't even know if the camera can pick up all the detail that is in the back of these cards, but it's this image of the Garden of Earthly Delights, which this deck is taken from. And it's just so intricate. And I really love the way, so it's reversible. And I really enjoy the way that this really looks like everyone's gonna fall off the earth, because that just feels appropriate for the bizarreness of this deck. Yes, this honestly, like, we'll deviate for a minute. I did an unboxing of this too, I think, so I've already gushed about this, but this is just one of my favorite presentations of all time. Like, with the way the box opens, I think that's so clever. Anyway, that's it. That's my final favorite tarot back. I hope this was a bit of a quicker video. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed seeing me show off some of my pretty decks. That's basically all this was an excuse to play with some pretty things. Let me know if you've done a version of this video or one of the tags that I'm fairly sure exist for both borders and tarot backs. I imagine I'm going to find the hashtags when I'm editing this video and uploading it, and then do a bit of a rabbit hole down everybody else's videos, because I love to look at pretty decks. So that is it from me. Thank you very much for watching and for spending some time with me. I hope that you've enjoyed. Give me a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.